So the amount of money that I brought with me to camp, I would probably say I had about £2,000 like in my savings account.
From the work that I did, I probably bought around £1,000.
I probably bought around £500 to camp with me.
I brought roughly around $1,000 before I went to camp, so half of it was cash and half of it I had in my Monzo account.
So I took about £1,000 to camp, saved up for it, and took that with me, so I had some spends before we got paid.
I don't remember taking a lot of money to camp because I kept in mind that obviously my food and accommodation is covered for me, and you are well fed at camp, don't worry.
So in terms of budgeting for the travel after camp, first of all, you're going to be making money at camp, so you are going to be getting a little bit of money, but you should always bring a safety net. So about $100 a week is usually fine.
So when I went to camp, I probably just made sure I had a bit of savings in my back pocket, but I definitely relied on the pocket money that I was earning to travel around afterwards, but I do think it's very important to have a little bit of a safety net behind you.
I didn't spend too much while I was at camp. Your meals are paid for, like you always have a place to stay at camp, which is great.
While I was at camp, I didn't need that much money because I wasn't spending, because the food was provided and obviously the accommodation.
So while at camp, I didn't really spend a lot of money. It was just days off and Walmart trips.
Whilst I was at camp, definitely didn't spend that much money. Occasionally when we had a night off and we went to Walmart or McDonald's or something like that, you'd spend a bit of cash, or for pizza.
I spent probably a little bit more than I needed to, mainly because of like days off.
I didn't spend that much money when I was at camp. And also as a group, we kind of wanted to do things that were cheap and cheerful. There was one day that we really treated ourselves where we went to a casino and we got a suite and we had bathrobes and slippers and everything. It was amazing. But that was kind of the one day that we splashed out.
I didn't spend too much whilst I was at camp, but it does depend from person to person. So I had a day camp, which meant I was spending a little bit more than the average person, as I had my weekends off and evenings off.
I think the one thing that I kept forgetting, especially at the beginning, was the tax. When you go to the supermarkets and you see something, you're like, oh, it's like $5, and then you go to the till and it's $5.50, and I kept forgetting that. So yeah, I definitely would say be careful of that. Just be cautious that when you are buying something, there is the tax to be added on afterwards. So I think over time that probably added up, especially the tipping as well when you go to restaurants.
I'd say Revolut at my camp was very popular because it was so easy to transfer money, because on our days off we'd all pay on one bill and then we could just divide it up.
I had a travel card. I signed up with Starling. It always worked fine for me, so yeah, no complaints there.
A sort of Monzo or like a Sterling card would be really, really useful to use out there.
I didn't have a Monzo in my first year. I used a global money card, which was through my bank. So it's always worth looking at the different options that your bank offers before getting a new bank account.
Yeah, there are some really good ones out there. So I had some cash, some preloaded dollars onto a card already, and that did me absolutely fine for the summer.
I brought I think it was either $150 or $200 just to make sure that if I was stranded somewhere, if I needed an emergency or anything, I had cash with me to make sure that I could get somewhere safely and securely in case I lost my card or there was a fault with it. So yeah, I had cash as well as a card.
I don't think you really need to get a US payment card unless your camp encourages you to, as Wise and Monzo work as a card over there, but whatever your camp preferences as well.
My camp paid us every 2 weeks and they'd load it onto a prepaid card that they gave us, and then every 2 weeks we'd get paid and then I'd transfer it into my Revolut account just to make it easier.
So my camp paid me after the first 4 weeks and then at the end of camp. So we got paid twice, halfway through and at the end, and we got paid into a Wise account.
So in my first year of camp, we were paid by check, and we got given those checks every few weeks, and then it was up to us to go and cash them.
So we got paid around halfway through the summer, and then so I think it was a third halfway through the summer and then 2/3 at the end of the summer.
I got paid at the end of the summer. We had options at my camp as to how you wanted to be paid. You could either be paid in chunks throughout the summer, which would help those who maybe really couldn't bring that much money to camp. That was really helpful for them because they knew that every couple of weeks they would get paid. I opted to just have mine at the end.
Camp paid me through cards, so they set up a equals card. That was all at the beginning that they did with us, especially being international, making sure that was all set up, getting the social security number and stuff like that. So once that was all set up, they would be putting, every 2 weeks, they'd be putting money into that account. So nice and simple, and it'll be shown in the transactions. So yeah. Yeah, I would say that the money that camp gave me for the summer was enough to make sure that whilst I was at camp, I had enough to, look after myself, go out, treat myself, explore the area on my days off, especially even after camp. So yeah, I definitely had enough. It's just making sure that you budget yourself each time that you do go out or during or after camp to make sure that you're not overspending.
I don't think I was ever in a position where I didn't have enough money to do the things that I wanted to do. I think camp is more of an experience than it is about the money. If you're going to work at a camp to get paid a lot, I think you're doing it for the wrong reasons. I think all of the experiences that you have at camp are worth more than any money that camp can pay you.